I am just sick and tired of spinning my wheels, and I don't know what it's gonna take to get me out of this rut. It's crazy because training wise, I'm not in a rut. You know, like, I obviously have to work around an injury, but training's going great. Training is, you know, pretty much the only thing. I'm not even consistently riding because I'm training so hard. But just trying to get this fat loss thing down, you know, being an endomorph, I mean, it's freaking hard. It's so hard. And the reason why is because, you know, I refuse to go back to radical methods. Radical methods can get you great results, but they're just not, you don't maintain them. And that's what that's what I think is most important about this information, is just showing that, hey, you know, you have to go through a process of elimination to fall into, you know, like some kind of lifestyle that fits for you. That's why these people that have all these channels and stuff, that's why they're lean and they're able to maintain it, because a lot of them are doing it in an enjoyable way. Usually if you're not doing it in an enjoyable way, you will yo-yo. You'll be all over the place, kind of like I've been. You know, I've had a great physique, or what I would consider a great physique for someone like myself coming from where I've come from, but you know, it was very difficult to maintain because the lifestyle wasn't one that was conducive to my, you know, natural behavior, and so I had to let go of it, you know, or it let go of me, however you want to look at it. But there's no strategy that is going to help you avoid, you know, learning your body and learning these different ways of, you know, eating calories throughout the day. You're gonna have to find, you know, and finding the right foods as well. And you know, the person that wants to gain weight that is ectomorph is having these same kind of problems, you know. But I mean, I would say the problem, I'd say being an endomorph, especially if you want to have a healthy lifestyle and be lean, is probably the hardest. It probably is. I'm not saying that it's not hard for an ectomorph to gain weight, but you know, there's a big difference between being lean, you know, and being overweight, you know, especially for your health. Unless you're like obviously anorexic or something like that. I'm talking about the average person, the average thin person, healthy person. You know, it's, you know, endomorphs have like this confidence issues, that, you know, there's a lot of issues that come along with being overweight. And that's the reason why I get up and I do these videos, because this stuff's important. This stuff is going to help someone, you know, turn their life around. It's going to help someone improve their health. And that's what's more important to me than anything, is the health aspect of this. You know, being at a weight that's feasible or a healthy weight for your, you know, height weight proportion. You know, that's important. So don't try and avoid the work. Don't try and avoid the learning and the reading and the becoming more in tune with your body. You know, energy balance is behavioral. It's, you know, it's psychological. It's all these different things. You know, it's habitual. You know, and trying to get all these things to come together in a way that's that's going to help you maintain sanity and, you know, and have a life. It's going to take some time. I'm not going to say it's going to take forever, but it's going to take some time, and everyone's different. Some people can get this stuff down in a couple months. You know, some people it's going to take them, you know, years. It's taken me years, but, you know, I'm not going to say that, you know, my discipline hasn't gone down. My discipline's gone down in the eating area. It definitely has. I'm not as disciplined as I have been in the past, but as I've said, you know, it wears on you doing radical dieting. You know, it's just not something that, you know, it's not something that's fun to do, and it's not something that I feel like for myself is long lasting. You know, you get lean and you realize like, wow, you know, I'm basically living a life that I don't want to live to maintain being lean. And so you fall out of those eating habits, and when you fall out of those eating habits, the body goes away. You know, what it took you to get there is what you have to do to maintain it. So, you know, just keep that in mind, and have an awesome day.